Around the world, not only in Europe, it's bad times for facts because we have powerful people that do not want to be contradicted, basically. So I think it's, in a way, great times for fact-checking organizations because there is a lot to do. There is a lot to fact-check, there is a lot to investigate, and I think more people are relying on our work. But at the same time, it's obviously that our enemies have become more powerful, the people who don't want to be corrected ever or contradicted. So in that sense, it's kind of a little ambiguous situation. I think also the major digital platforms are clearly more and more uninterested in fighting disinformation, and for the ones like ourselves who fight disinformation, that's never, a good news because obviously the impact, the saying those big platforms have in society and the implications for public opinion are really big. So in that sense, we live very, very challenging times. Well, I think we have seen that, and you guys know for a few years now that there is sometimes coordinated networks affiliated to Russia that will basically amplify whatever it's, whatever narrative or piece of disinformation that is harming Western institutions. I think there is an underlying message there from Russia that says, there is no difference between the West and Russia. Yeah, we might not be perfect, but the West is really as authoritarian or, is in decay. I think, pro-Russian networks have been very good at amplifying that kind of thing. I know for sure they are clearly inventing some hoaxes and planting some hoaxes, but they have also, I would say, upped their game in terms of facilitating and amplifying homegrown disinformation that aligns with the larger goal. And the larger goal is always like undermine support for Ukraine, undermine European Union ideals. I think we can see a clear pattern in that way. I could say both at the same time, right? Like, for starters, it's evident that if you are a guy who is in the disinformation industry, like creating hoaxes or whatever, it's giving you wonderful tools to do that kind of content in a more perfected way and more speedier, less costly. All that is true, but at the same time, everyone in fact-checking is also using AI-powered tools to try to have a better capacities at identifying this information, at precisely underpinning why this happened at that location on time or not, to facilitate also dissemination of our fact checks and to see how all things that we already debunked are back. I think AI is helping us in many ways. I couldn't go as far as to say it helps us more than it damages us. I'm not sure about that, but I know what I do know is that the world has changed and everybody's taking advantage. The good guys are taking advantage and the bad guys are taking advantage. And there is really no other option because this is the new reality we live in.